Labą dieną. Esu Ramutė Lagunavičiūtė, dirbu savanorė West of Scotland Regional Equality Council ir esu Lietuvių Škotijoje asociacijos narė. Šiandien aš kalbėsiu su Malcolmu McConnell iš Maryhill and Fossil Park Citizens Advice Bureau. Mes diskutuosime pensijų klausimais, aktualiais Europos Sąjungos ir Europos Ekonominės Bendrijos piliečiams gyvenantiems Jungtinėje Karalystėje. Šis interviu bus vykdomas anglų kalba su lietuviškais subtitrais.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Ramutė. I'm a Lithuanian national. I have lived in Scotland for 2 years. I work full-time and I intend to settle permanently in the United Kingdom. I'm looking for some information about the retirement pension in the UK to help me plan for the future.
Hi Ramutė. There's various types of pension in the UK. The most common is the state retirement pension. This is a regular payment that's made to people who've paid enough national insurance contributions during their working life. It's paid once they reach state retirement age. It's a non-means tested benefit, which means you can receive the state pension in addition to any private pension arrangement which you may have made.
I was born on the 20th of September 1955. When do I reach state pension age?
This is a little bit complicated because the state pension age in the UK is changing. At the moment it's 65 for men and between 60 and 65 for women, depending on the date of birth. This will increase for everyone to 66 by 2020 and 67 by 2028. You can use an online pension age calculator to figure out when you will reach state pension age. Based on your date of birth, you'll reach state pension age on your 66th birthday on the 20th of September 2021.
Do I have to retire and claim my state pension when I reach state pension age?
You don't have to retire when you reach state pension age. You're generally able to continue working for as long as you want to. You can choose to retire whenever suits you. However, if you retire early, you will still not be able to claim state retirement pension until you reach state retirement age. Similarly, when you reach state pension age, you do not have to claim your state retirement pension. This is known as deferring your pension. By deferring your pension, you can get either an extra pension or a lump sum later on. You will generally not be paid state retirement pension automatically when you reach state retirement age, and you will have to claim it. If you do not claim it, the government will assume that you have chosen to defer your state retirement pension until you do make a claim.
Does this mean that I can get a state retirement pension when I turn 65?
This depends whether you've paid enough national insurance contributions in your working life. This is also known as building up enough qualifying years before you reach state pension age. A qualifying year is a tax year in which you have sufficient income to pay national insurance contributions, or in which you're treated as having paid or have been credited with national insurance contributions.
How much national insurance do I have to pay each year to qualify?
The specific requirements for national insurance contributions depend on your personal circumstances. As you are an employee, there's a minimum earnings threshold which you have to meet each year.
I'm thinking of becoming self-employed next year. How will this affect national insurance contributions towards a state retirement pension?
The system's a bit different for self-employed persons. You'll have to pay a flat weekly rate of national insurance. If your annual earnings from self-employment are below a certain level, you may be exempt from paying national insurance contributions altogether. However, you can choose to voluntarily continue paying national insurance to protect your contributions for your state retirement pension.
How many qualifying years do I need to be entitled to the state retirement pension?
To receive a full state retirement pension, you must have built up 30 qualifying years. You cannot get more than the full state retirement pension, so any qualifying years beyond 30 are not counted. If you have less than 30 qualifying years, your entitlement will be restricted to whatever proportion of the 30 qualifying years you have built up. For example, if you have 15 qualifying years instead of 30, you may be entitled to half the full state retirement pension. You may be able to make up any gaps in your contribution record by making voluntary contributions, but you should seek advice to check if this is worth doing. If you're unsure how many qualifying years you have, you can request a statement of your national insurance account from the HMRC to see how many qualifying years you have. If you reached state pension age before the 6th of April 2010, then different contribution conditions will apply in your case, and you should seek advice regarding your entitlement to the state retirement pension.
What happens to my national insurance contributions if I lose my job or I'm not able to work through ill health?
In some circumstances, you can get national insurance credits to cover your contributions, which can help you satisfy the national insurance contribution conditions for a state retirement pension. You can receive national insurance credits in a wide variety of different circumstances, including claiming benefits such as job seekers allowance if you're unemployed, employment and support allowance if you're unfit for work, amongst many others. If you ever have to claim benefits, it's very important that you check whether you will also receive national insurance credits to protect your contribution record.
Can I qualify for a state retirement pension based on my husband's pension contributions?
There are certain circumstances in which, if you do not qualify for a state pension based on your own contributions, you can rely on contributions paid by someone else, such as your husband or your civil partner. The requirements and amount of your pension entitlement will depend on your individual circumstances. The rules in this area are quite complicated, and you should seek advice if you think they might apply to you. You can see some basic information on these slides.
I have only worked and paid national insurance contributions in the United Kingdom for 2 years, but I worked and paid national insurance contributions in Lithuania for 25 years before I moved to United Kingdom. What happens to these contributions?
Under European Union rules, contributions paid in any European Economic Area member state can count towards entitlement to social security benefits in another. This means that any tax year in which you met the contribution conditions in another member state can be counted as a qualifying year towards a UK state retirement pension. That means that by adding together your Lithuanian and UK contributions, you could have 27 qualifying years already and will only require 3 more qualifying years to become eligible for a full UK state retirement pension.
What about people from countries outside the European Economic Area?
The UK also has reciprocal agreements with many countries outside the European Economic Area, whereby national insurance contributions paid in those countries can count towards entitlement to a state pension in the UK and vice versa.
What happens if I work across the European Economic Area? Can I claim a pension or other benefits from more than one European Economic Area state at the same time?
The general rule is that you can't. One of the key principles of the EU is that you can only claim a particular benefit and are only liable to pay national insurance contributions to one member state. This will generally be the state in which you're employed, self-employed, or resident.
Will claiming a state retirement pension affect my status in the United Kingdom and my right to continue to reside here?
Whilst there are no residence or presence criteria for receiving a UK state pension, you must be properly exercising a treaty right to reside in the UK. European Economic Area nationals and their family members are free to enter and live in any European Economic Area member state as job seekers, workers, self-employed persons, self-sufficient persons, or students. You will have the right to permanently reside in the UK once you've been continuously exercising your treaty rights in the UK for 5 years. At this stage, if you wish, you can apply for a document certifying your permanent residence in the UK. There's no requirement on you to do this, but it can help prove your permanent residence and help you with other applications in the future.
What happens if I reach state pension age before I have lived in the United Kingdom for 5 years?
There are special rules regarding permanent residency for people who previously had worker status or were self-employed in the UK and are now retired. You can gain a right to permanent residence in the UK if you reach state pension age in the UK, you worked in the UK for at least the last 12 months before retirement, and you've resided continuously in the UK for more than 3 years.
What about pensions for my family members?
EU rules state that the family members of an EEA national, regardless of their country of origin, are entitled to the same rights as the EEA citizens themselves. This includes the right to enter, live and work in the UK and access UK services. Your family members will be able to pay contributions towards a UK state retirement pension in the same way as you are. You can see details of who counts as a family member on this slide.
What if I move to another country before claiming my state retirement pension?
In general, if you move to another EEA member state and become resident or employed, self-employed there, then that country becomes responsible for your benefits and pension. You will, however, be able to count any contributions paid in the UK towards your entitlement to a pension in the other member state. Also, if you move to a country outside the EEA, but one with which the UK has a reciprocal agreement, then you may also be able to count your contributions in the UK towards your entitlement to a state pension in that country.
What if I move to another country after claiming my state retirement pension?
Your UK state retirement pension is payable without time limit while you are abroad. However, you will not be entitled to the annual increases unless you've moved to another EEA member state, or you can rely on a reciprocal agreement between the UK and your new country of residence. In general, if you continue to be entitled to a UK benefit when you move to another EEA member state, the UK remains the competent state for paying that benefit until either you become employed or self-employed in the other state, or, in certain circumstances, you start to receive a benefit from it.
What other types of pensions are available in the United Kingdom?
There are lots of other ways to save for your retirement. For example, if you're an employee, your employer may offer an occupational pension scheme. Normally, both the employee and the employer will contribute to these schemes. You can also choose to buy a personal pension scheme, regardless of your employment situation. There are lots of different pensions available and the market can seem quite confusing. You should speak to a financial advisor before making any decision. If you're 80 or over, you're entitled to a state retirement pension regardless of whether you've paid enough national insurance contributions. You must be living in the UK when you claim, and you must have lived here for at least 10 years since you were 60. If you're over state pension age, you can also claim pension credit. This is a means-tested benefit, so your entitlement is based on how much money you have coming in. If you are of pension age and are struggling with money, you may be entitled to some pension credit. Speak to your local Citizens Advice Bureau for more information and for a benefit check. The UK state retirement pension age will be changing from April 2016. The new system will be a single-tier, flat-rate payment. To get a full new state pension, you'll have to have 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions, and to get any, you will normally need to have at least 10 qualifying years. If you've made national insurance contributions or received credits under the current system, these will be converted into the new system. If you're an existing pensioner or you will reach pension age before the 6th of April 2016, a top-up scheme is being introduced from October 2015. Under this scheme, you will be able to pay a lump sum national insurance contribution in order to increase the amount of weekly pension you receive. If you have any other questions regarding pensions or any other benefits, or you would like to get a full benefit check to make sure you're getting everything that you're entitled to, contact your local Citizens Advice Bureau for an appointment. Thanks very much for your questions, Ramiti. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Marshall.
Okay, goodbye.
That's nice.